We have our iHeartRadio future star, Lydia Sutherland, on Pure Country, and nice to finally meet you. I was really hoping in 2022 I would get to meet you in person, but we're still Zooming.
Nice to meet you, even on Zoom. I'm so excited.
So congratulations, iHeartRadio future star with your song Date a Friend. Do you remember where you were or who called you and told you that you were selected as our iHeartRadio future star?
I do. I was about to hop on a writing session actually, and my radio tracker Brian Chick called me, and yeah, it came as a surprise. As I was telling you, like I did not expect this at all. Um, a few tears were shed. I was so stoked, but yeah, he called me and we were both so excited.
And I feel like it's, you're writing all these songs. Clearly, you are a songwriter. So you are every day thinking about titles and, writing down ideas. You finish a song. This one was last year, February 2021. And, are a new artist and go from not being on the radio at all to being all over the radio.
Don't even know how that happens, to be honest. This is only my second single too, so I'm so happy. Like the reception has been so good. Clearly, like my team and I are doing something right and writing about the right stuff. So I'm really stoked about that.
Honest songs about relationships are usually a good go-to, and I love this one. So Date a Friend, you actually wrote with Robin Ottolini, who of course Pure Country fans hear a lot of on the radio. How did this song idea come together? Was it your idea or hers or your other co-writer?
So I wrote this with Robin Ottolini and Chris Yurchuk. It was my idea. I came up with this because my best friend and I had just broken up at the time. So I was like so in my head about the whole relationship, and I was so like I was literally petrified of like losing my friend. And so Chris and Robin are like two of my closest friends and closest collaborators. So I just got in the right and I was like, guys, don't do it, not worth it. Don't date a friend. Like never again am I going there. And they called me out because they knew how important that relationship was for me, like just to grow. And also like him and I are even closer now. So they were like, why don't we just write a laundry list of reasons why you should date a friend and why you should be glad you did, just to shed a light on this very, very heavy time. And I was like, okay, so that's kind of how Date a Friend came along. Yeah.
And it's so I love the backwards part of it, because as soon as I read the title off to my husband, he was like, wait, don't date a friend, but you're my best friend. And I was like, I think you have to listen to the song first. So I love that. It's a tricky title, which encourages fans to want to listen to it. So you said you are still friends with your ex, who was your best friend, still friends today as well?
He's my bestest friend and we're even closer now. So I'm very grateful.
I love that. That's, even if you have those feelings about a best friend and you're maybe not so excited to tell them that you do, I feel like it's worth it, because you, like you say in the song, you already love them. You know that.
100%. And like you said, your partner is your best friend at the end of the day. So it's definitely a good sign if you're that close already.
Music video for it?
Not in the plans yet, but maybe we have an acoustic video in the works.
I feel like the music video for that could be really fun.
Fun. Yeah, very visual.
So where did your musical journey start? Because you live an hour from Montreal or so, and you've had experiences on television shows and writing songs for people, in Canada, including Robin Ottolini. In the US, you've had a number one in Australia. But where did it all actually begin, where you went, okay, music is the path I'm taking?
I think it was like, well, I know it was in high school. It really clicked for me because I was going through a lot of stuff, from like family stuff to like body image and like breaking up. And like, I felt like just guys didn't like me at the time. And I was just like very in a weird spot. And I couldn't find any songs to relate to. Like I had a bunch of artists I loved and I listened to, but I couldn't find a song about like body image, or I couldn't find a song about just like family trouble or like a father leaving and stuff like that. And I just thought it was so weird. And so I started writing them myself, and I would go in the music room at lunch, and that's how I taught myself how to play piano. And it really started from there, and I knew I was onto something as soon as I don't know, it just started making sense.
Who were those
Right.
artists that you say you listened to, even though they maybe weren't writing or, releasing the songs that truly spoke to you in your story? Who were those artists?
Taylor Swift was like the first artist I really clicked with. I feel like everybody says this, but like I grew up with her kind of thing where it was like, um, I heard our song on the radio and I was like, I want to be her when I grow up. And so Taylor Swift was the first. Obviously I loved like the classics like Shania Twain and Johnny Cash because my grandparents are musicians as well. So I grew up in like a super
Ah,
musical.
okay.
So those were my go-to at the time.
See, that makes sense. I'm like, because, I loved music growing up, but I didn't have anyone musical in my family. And it's funny. I feel like with a lot of artists, you hear that there's, maybe not their parents, but there's someone in their family lineage that had a musical bug that kind of passed it on to you. So I love that. What does 2022 look like for you? Are you constantly writing it in the studio?
Yeah, I try to write as much as I can. So I'm like pursuing the writer thing just as much as the artist thing at this point. So writing a lot. I have other singles lined up and ready to go. So we're dropping one very soon, another one. And then I'm actually moving to Nashville this year. So I'll be down there. And yeah, I'm really stoked to be in that like kind of like writing culture and that circle of people.
I think a lot of people, especially in Canada, they always go, "Oh, why do you have to, like, why do our Canadians have to move to Nashville?" And it's not that we don't love Canada, and Canada's always gonna be home, but there is, if you are pursuing writing, there is something in Nashville, a magic about it that you just can't find anywhere else in the world. It's not just Canada. There's nowhere that's like Nashville.
You really feel like understood there. It's weird because like you step there and everybody is chasing the same thing and everybody's just like the people or the friends I have down there are just so supportive and just want to uplift each other. So I'm at a place in my career where I really need that. So I thought it was
Who
right.
is somebody that you are like on top of your bucket list that you want to write a song with? Who would it be?
I'm like the biggest Josh Kerr fan. So I love Josh Kerr, Emily Wise Band, the JP Sachs. He's like the main inspiration behind everything I write. Like the next songs that we're dropping are very JP inspired. So those would be like my top three faves.
So you got to write those down on a list. And then 10 years from now, I know it seems like a long time, but they call Nashville the 10-year town. So make sure you cross those off your list in the next 10 years.
Yes.
We'll put that out in the world. Awesome. Well, congrats on the iHeartRadio Future Star. Thank you for joining us on Pure Country. And I can't wait to meet you sometime soon, maybe in Nashville.
Oh my God, I'd love that. Thanks so much.
Lydia Sutherland on Pure Country.